Okay, good evening or good afternoon. This is the April 23rd meeting of the New Ulm Human Rights Commission. I am Dan Kalk. And first thing we're going to do is we are going to call to order and approve the agenda. Did everybody get a copy of today's agenda?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do I have a motion to approve said agenda?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Okay. Do you need a second? Okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. Let's just-
All right. All right. So then we are going to take a look at and approve the minutes of last month. We got a lot done, I thought, last month. Everybody get those as well?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions or other discussion on those minutes? Anything at all?
As far as the committees, how did we decide? Did people just volunteer for the committees and then?
Yes, the ones that did not already have a committee assigned pretty much just chose a committee, and we came down with 4 and 4.
4 and 4, okay.
And I would be on both essentially, but not if it would create a quorum.
Okay.
Was where we landed with that.
Sure.
So,
Thank you.
okay, so how about?
Can you please direct your mic towards me?
Yep. Okay. Sorry. All right. Can I have a motion to approve then the March 26th minutes?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All right, thank you. Motion is carried, or all in favor, so I guess say aye.
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 Don't forget to do that.
Yeah.
All opposed, nay? All right, motion is carried. I guess we should go back. I'm gonna jump back. The approval, I'll approve. All in favor, say aye of approval of the agenda.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay? All right, that one is carried as well. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to go to number 4 on today's agenda. It is the current human rights issue. We were going to have Sarah Preisinger talk to us a little bit about the student walkout. I did get an email from her today, or it might have been Friday morning, that she has a track meet today. So
Get him in.
I was just going to say they're probably trying to get him in while they can, so they're probably backed up. So do we still want to maybe invite them to next month's meeting?
If she's available,
yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to
Okay.
hear.
Right, here she is.
Definitely.
All right, I am in 100% agreement, so I will extend it out to, there were 3 students from the student council, and then another individual, Owen, that got the invitation. Sarah was the only one that could make today, but then of course ended up not. So I will extend it to them all again and give them next month's May 28th. Oh, which actually we got to talk about that too. It's not going to be the 28th because that's Memorial Day, but next month I'll extend the invitation again. Okay, so the events committee report, the Human Rights Award. I think that is the committee that we could not meet. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, so, all right, so I think Lisa is going to work with that committee again and try to get together between now and May's, so that we can essentially get our human rights award, basically our meeting or what we want to do for the award and the presentation and how we want to do that, where we want to have it, basically kind of everything. I do have some of the materials that we used last year, or at least electronic copies of some of the things that we did, and Lisa has those, and I think she'll be distributing them if she didn't do so already. So you guys, or whoever is on the committee that meets, can use that as a template. I think it'll be very helpful. We should also probably think of a speaker. Is that something we want to have a speaker at? We do have it and we have enough in our budget to actually have somebody and pay them to come down and talk. Have we done that in the past, or?
For the Human Rights Award?
Yes, for the Human Rights Award.
We've just had sometime if it's someone from the committee or from the commission, and then also like maybe a family member or someone who can speak.
Okay.
Someone who did the nomination, depends on, where that nomination came from. But
Okay.
It hasn't been someone we've hired to have come.
Okay, all right, because I was just looking at some of the budget, and we did get, some money for, speakers and things like that, and I mean, we're getting to, and we're almost halfway through the year. Is there a different event that we're thinking we want someone to speak? We should maybe start thinking about it.
Sometimes in the fall, we have an educational thing. I think when I first came on the commission, it was the human trafficking sessions we had that a speaker come down and give some presentations on.
Okay,
That was a year and a half ago, maybe. And
okay. so-
those kinds of, I think the speakers we've used in the past have been for like community educational issues.
Okay, that makes sense. So maybe start thinking about, and we'll put it on the agenda for next month. Maybe start thinking about what are some things that we want, that we think would be good to discuss, and that we can maybe hold something like that again with, of course, a different topic. I know that we've brought up, bullying before. I also know that I think the schools have done something with that, so maybe that's not something that is needed right now, but maybe we can just start thinking about some topics. And then is that something that we did just all alone? It was just us and we had it in like at the community center, or did we do that in conjunction with something else? Do you remember?
Wendy, you were more involved in planning on that than I was.
And it was pretty much Jackie that I believe did
Yeah,
the planning
okay.
on that. It was,
Okay.
it might have been a combination of Jackie and Dave Borkart.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And
I thought we co-opted with the police department.
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay.
I can't say for sure.
All right, no, that's fine. I'm just thinking down the road. Like I said, we got the money in the budget, so just, start
So,
thinking about using that.
A fall education event we should think about.
Yeah, and maybe we could roll in since we're bumping our essay and our poster contest to the fall, maybe we could roll something into that. Maybe do a little PR and wrap all of that into it, and maybe even our student. Maybe we could fall could be like kind of a kickoff of a lot of things that we're doing, maybe. And then that way maybe we could do it on our own and get people to partner with us. I don't know. I'm just throwing some ideas out there. So, but we'll table that for now. But I do kind of want to come back to that next month. So just, I guess, for nothing else other than to just start thinking about that. Does anybody have questions on that? So that's where did we start with that? Number 5, the Human Rights Award. Who is on the Human Rights Award that's here now? Sorry, Human Rights Award. Events Committee, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay.
And D,
All right. Yeah, indeed. So, all right, so Lisa will be working with all you to try to get a day that works. And I can come too, as long as, it doesn't put us over the quorum, so. And Lisa will let me know, I'm sure. Does anybody have anything else from the events committee or questions about what we're looking for? Okay. All right, so we're gonna go to 6 here, Education Committee report. So the student commissioner, I guess, I'll just start with that. I did communicate with with Brian Gromitz, the city planner, and we actually don't need to do an entire amendment of the charter. I don't have the exact communication, but essentially, he indicated if we wanted to add non-voting student members, and it was important that they were non-voting, that we could do that. So based on that, I think I kind of asked Lisa to have the education committee assemble and put something together. Is anybody here that was at that meeting?
Larry and myself.
Yep.
Okay. Do either of you want to talk about talk about that or update us?
Go ahead, Larry.
Let me, okay. We came through the recommendation took what we had from our previous discussions in the past and put it into a single document. We came up with a brief rationale. One would be to begin training future commissioners. One is to receive input on issues from another perspective. Another is to link human rights not only to our community but also to our schools. Representatives could help minimize volatile situations in our schools, and commissioners could relay and share information with their peers on Human Rights Commission activities. So we recommend that the New Ulm Human Rights Commission appoints 2 non-voting high school representatives to the commission. The first appointment should be for 1 year to a current junior. The second and succeeding appointments should be for 2 years to a current sophomore. That way we'll always get one new one every year.
Okay.
The student terms would run from June to June, with the new student representative taking over during the next July meeting. Student commissioners will not have voting powers but may participate in all other activities. The student commissioner should be residents of New Ulm or the New Ulm School District. The Human Rights Commission will appoint student commissioners in consultation with the mayor and a school representative. An effort should be made to include all high schools at some point during the process.
Okay. All right, any questions or discussion on that? Okay, so when were we thinking we wanted to start? Do we want to start that in July or,
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
All right, so current juniors,
They're at the end of their junior year. Yeah.
okay,
So then they'll be able to serve their senior year.
So we're gonna need to get information to the schools,
Right.
like now, we have just about a month.
Yep.
Yep.
that's
If
it.
they're gonna,
Yep, and that's what I was thinking. If somebody wanted to maybe volunteer to put a few sentences together, maybe we could also do a brief press release. I know Kevin over at the Journal is good that they have the community corner thing. It doesn't cost anything, and we can put something in there as well.
are we thinking that July makes more sense than waiting till fall when school starts up? I'm just thinking, like, speaking for my own kids, they scatter when summer comes. I mean, there's so many other things going on, and I'm just wondering if we're gonna get a better response if
Well,
we
when
wait till
they,
school
yeah,
starts.
depends on how you want to run it, but they're going to be gone. If they're seniors, they'll be gone by July. We figured it as their senior year, and they'll be done in June.
Okay,
From that end
oh,
of
I
it.
see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, they might not make the first July meeting. They might be on vacation, but sometimes we don't
Okay.
meet in July either.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so is there someone that would like to communicate and put together a few sentences for each school?
I can do that.
Okay, thanks, Wendy. And I can put together just a brief press release as well, so that, and then Wendy, you and I can just coordinate like when we do that, so
Okay.
it's all sort of done at the
Right.
same time within the next couple of weeks, I suppose.
Then we had talked before about having like criteria or having like an application, or how are we thinking to,
Well, that's the
Is
reason
that
I
what-
said in consultation with both the mayor and the school representative.
so just so by like recommendation? I'm just trying to figure out how to word it to the school. So would an interested student then seek recommendation from
From the-
adults and
right.
get a letter written? I'm just wondering if we need something that's a little more
Concrete,
concrete
yeah,
as far
yeah.
as the directions go?
The process,
Or the
sure,
process?
yeah.
Do we want to have like minimum, well, I suppose they just have to be in good standing with the school, right? And I
Right.
think,
We might want to discuss what their goals would be for coming to the commission, so that
Right.
we can kind of look at where they're thinking, because it might not match where we are, and so we'd want to make sure we know that.
Right.
And they also probably need to know who we are or what we are if they want to join us also. A little bit about what we're doing.
Right.
And I think, like, when I'm reading through this, I think this all sounds great, but it's almost a lot of what they would do for us, not necessarily what they could get from being on the commission
Mhm, mhm.
themselves, and maybe we write that up somehow too.
I can put something together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just, because I guess that would be kind of in the press release, sort of in the spirit of that. It's like what we are, what we do, and
Right.
then, and then.
Why
maybe
are
if you
we
wanna
adding
be-
them?
Yeah.
What is the purpose of
Right.
them? What would they add to our, and
Yeah.
what we had hoped to glean from them?
Exactly. Okay. Yep. All right. So I can put something together, and then should I just email it to you, and then
Yeah.
you can distribute it? Okay.
And then should we put something together in the form of, just, like we said, maybe making it a little more concrete as far as what them, I don't know if applying is the right word, but, just to, say we have several
A
kids.
form,
how-
like a.
Yeah, like a
just
form
out
they
a
fill out, so
form.
we can get to know them a little
Right,
better,
yeah.
and especially if a choice has to be made, if there are
Right.
several that are interested. I mean, maybe they can be like a short little paragraph. Or
Questionnaire.
even-
Why do you
or
wanna be
why-
in this
yeah,
sport?
I like
something
that, I like that,
right,
Sue, that's a
right.
good idea. Yeah.
That's simple. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would
Yeah.
you want to be?
So just maybe a form
Be a
with
part
their
of it.
basic information and then just a little bit of an essay question. Okay. All right.
You're gonna get some feedback from the school administration too, I think, which would be
They'll
helpful.
suggest maybe student council presidents, those that are actively involved in those kind of things anyway, I
Mhm.
would think.
So what I'll,
That's who they would suggest, but
so what I'll do
not
is I'll
limited
ask-
to.
Right, I'll ask to meet with maybe Mr. Bertrand, and that would cover the New Ulm, and then, as far as the other schools go, maybe in meeting with him, I can get more of an idea of what would work, and then put
Sure.
something together and call it good for everybody.
Yeah,
and he'd know who
Okay.
to contact at either of the
For
other
the-
schools,
right,
if it's
right.
Mr. Plath or
Okay.
Yeah.
who's it?
I would suggest then that we add to the Dan, I would suggest then that we add to the recommendation, we add something along the lines of, we'll appoint a student commissioner, after, student commissioners who have applied, in consultation, something along the lines that there's an application process in the recommendation, just for our own minutes.
Okay.
That's what I'd recommend, that we just add that there's an application process that will be developed.
Okay. All right.
Because we haven't officially even adopted this recommendation yet, so.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So adding, right, basically what we just discussed
Yeah.
about what we wanted to add. So, so do we have then? Does somebody want to move to adopt the recommendation with the addition that we did talk about, including
Brief application.
an application
Form.
process that we talked about?
I so move.
I'll second.
Right. Is there, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay? Okay, motion is carried, so we will be adopting those recommendations with that addition. Thank you, Larry. Okay, is there any more discussion on that? I know we're going kind of quick here. Any more discussion on that? Ideas as far as what we'd like to see? Nope. Okay. All right. Where are we?
Video contest.
Okay. That's you again.
That's
Larry.
me again, right, yeah. I cleaned up the forms and dates and stuff, but I couldn't remember from my note, and I couldn't make out of my notes what we had decided about the amount for prizes. If you look on the back of the first sheet, and I tried to recall that. I think these are almost ready to go if you take a look at these, but let's make sure we're clear about the prizes, and make sure I can fix that up. And then I'll submit these to Lisa and prepare a press release. I'll work with Lisa on that at the city hall in the next day or two then.
Okay.
But if you want to check, I couldn't remember, and I noticed from the minutes that I think I might have been wrong. The winning prizes were $200, but it was after that I didn't. I had runner-up videos $100, and then the school $100, but I couldn't remember if we just decided to eliminate the runners-up and keep the $200 to the school.
I think that's
I
what we
think we
did.
did.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's what I
Did.
couldn't remember. All right, good. So we'll just eliminate the runner-up videos. And then the schools will be $200, right?
Yeah, that's,
And that gets us right at our $1,000, I think, for the budget.
right, because there was 3 categories, right? So
Okay.
that's
I'll,
600.
I'll make those changes on that, and it's, but if you want to look at that to make sure there's anything else before I submit it, I think we adopted this in principle, but I'll submit this when it's cleaned up to Lisa tomorrow or the day after.
Okay. We need a,
Just a
formal-
question, you said $1,000? It comes
was
to
it-
1,200 if that's what you're,
Well, the adults wouldn't have a school connected to it.
right. So that's-
thank you.
Okay, so and then our deadline is June 15th on that. Oh wait,
I
did we
do-
decide?
I did decide to go to July 15th.
Okay, I was just gonna say, I thought maybe
Yeah.
we talked about that being a little soon.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, good. Well, then I won't confuse anybody anymore.
okay.
Okay. Anything else on the video contest, Larry?
No, I'll just make sure that Lisa gets this the next day or two.
Okay. Anybody have any comments or other discussion? Does anybody want to make a motion to approve the video contest as Larry's put together?
If our forms and things are due in July, do we want the winners announced in August then, to giving you, if you're looking July 15, does that give you
We could,
time?
yeah, we could say it in our August meeting, yes.
That's the end of August, though, is it
Right.
not? I'm just looking at the processing time.
Sometimes we don't
Will
meet
it-
in July. I could just say in our July or August meeting. I could just put it that way,
Slash August, there you
Yeah.
go, yep.
okay? Good catch.
Any other discussion? Anybody want to move to approve the video contest?
I'll motion to approve.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed with a nay, please. Hearing none, the motion is carried. Thank you again, Larry. Okay, so legislative update, we're on number 7. We, oh, sorry.
Diversity training.
Sorry, Tim.
That's okay.
We were so close, I just looked right past you. All right, Mr. Frenning, diversity training update, please.
I did talk with Shauna Boomgarden with the city. They do what's called respectful workplace training. It's actually coming up next month. It's an hour-and-a-half training with a professional trainer. All the full-time employees for the city attend. It addresses discrimination based on race, color, religion, national origin, disability, sex, age, etc. Also addresses violent behavior, offensive behavior, and sexual harassment. And as far as I know, that is what they use for their diversity training. And I don't know if they have it says every 2 to 3 years that they do something like that to make sure that they catch up on any new employees. So that's what I was able to find out as far as diversity training for the city.
Okay.
Tim, does that include the police department?
I
Full-time city, I would assume, but I mean.
assume it does, yes, yes. Yeah, it says all full-time employees are required to attend, so.
And every 2 to 3 years?
Yeah, it says every couple of years, so yeah, between 2 and 3 years, they do the, an updated version, I assume, of the respectful workplace training.
Did he indicate when they've done it last?
She did not.
Okay. All right. Any questions or discussion on that?
How long did you say it was? An hour and a half?
Hour and a half, yeah.
How long have they been doing that?
She didn't say.
Okay. Thank you, Tim. All right, so legislative update, not much on the legislation side, at least that I am aware of. With regard to the city council liaison, do we want to select the next liaison? I did not get to the most recent city council meeting. It is helpful, though, whoever is next, they do post the agenda on there, so if there is something of note that you think may have some or direct overlap or, directly relate to an issue that is near and dear to our hearts, that will help you, decide whether or not it.
Question, will there be a report from this diversity training at the city council level? Will that come back there for any information? I mean, I'd like to hear feedback. I'd like to hear how that is handled or something. The one of us really would need to be, if they do that at one of the meetings.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
One of the other questions too is why would it not be for all employees versus just full-time employees?
part-time.
Because part-time people still work with full-time people.
Yeah.
And so that training should be across the board, I'm thinking.
I would.
I mean, it's just a question.
I was wondering that too.
might be scheduling.
Okay.
Are they not then responsible for of getting some training for part-time employees, or is that not a?
I'm sure this is part of their mandated training, correct? Yeah.
But I wonder if that's something they go over in orientation with the new employees. I'm sure that there's something like that in the orientation for the new employees, but yeah, that's a good question about why it's just full-time and not everyone.
Well, the part-timers are here for a short time and then they're gone.
Yeah, kind of like seasonal.
Part-timers will be filling up
Summer temp type
Summer
thing?
temp.
Temps,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of temps that come and go at
sure.
Park and Rec.
Yeah.
But like I say, that, I don't know why they haven't been, but I think it's also scheduling.
Sure of it.
So do we want to do like a follow-up with city council based on this, do you think? Or our discussion on the diversity training? Or what are anyone else's thoughts on that? Who wants to do the next liaison to the city council?
I need a couple questions about it. Did you go to each of the city council meetings? Were there 2 a month?
There's 2 a month. I didn't go to each one.
Okay.
No. I think it's 3.
You went to 3, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so they have 2 a month, and what is it, for 3 months
But
we're gonna
it's
do this?
yes, I did. When did we start this? Was it February? And then we didn't have a meeting.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So so February to up to
Yeah,
today.
February, March, April, yeah. May, June, July would be the next term.
What night or what?
It is the first and third
First and third Tuesday.
Tuesday
4:30.
in this room.
You said they have an agenda, are we part of the agenda, or did you just observe?
I just observed. No, we were not part of the agenda, but yeah, well, we talked after and I talked about how our committee is going to try to, as much as we can, send somebody just to observe and see what's happening and the goings on of city council.
And
So-
anything that's relevant to us, obviously we'll report back.
Right, and then we report back and then discuss if there's additional discussion that we think is important, and then we can follow up with them, and then maybe get on the agenda if there is something that we feel is important enough to be heard on. So,
I'll take the next term.
okay. Thank you, Tim.
Yep.
Okay, and then in other business, the yard sign order, I communicated a little bit with Jackie on the yard signs. Like I was saying last month, it's starting to get nice, and I think people are gonna want to put out these signs, and I know there was a big demand for them last year. So I did talk to the company that Jackie got them from, and I think it was $10 or more. No, it was $10 plus tax, unless we're tax exempt. Mr. Mayor, do you know if our organization would be considered tax exempt? Okay, that's fine. I can look into that. I believe we are. I think Jackie said that we were, but So, and I know we have money in the budget for more, and I was looking at, I remember where I saw this, but, I think it was in our budget proposal. I know that Jackie had indicated that I think we spent about 1,000 just last year in those yard signs. So, what do you think as a commission, should we order them again? They have the same template, and do we want any changes done to them? And do we want to order them, and if so, how many?
I'm wondering if they checked with any other printers to see if it can be, $10 a piece sounds expensive to me. And I'm wondering if we order in bulk like that, if it can be cheaper if we check around.
I can certainly look around. There's some other.
It seems to me when we got the referendum signs, we didn't pay anything close to $10 a piece.
Okay.
But they weren't necessarily as sturdy either. I just think maybe it's worth checking into.
You want to make sure you get those like we got with
Yeah.
because you can get the wraparound ones, which, I mean,
The wraparound ones aren't gonna last as
no,
long.
they won't
Yeah.
last the wind.
No.
I mean, this
Yeah.
last windstorm, my sign made it, my stand didn't.
Yeah.
The stand snapped. So I need to find a new
Actually-
stand. The sign made it through,
Yeah.
but
That
not the
happened to
stand.
a teacher too, down
Yeah.
at the high school. I had to replace her stand.
I need a stand,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
yeah. But that's, I mean, so you want, whether it's corrugated, it's that corrugated,
Mhm.
that's the better kind, because then it
Yeah.
just, and it's a lot easier to put in
Yep.
the ground. So
Okay.
you can find whoever makes political signs make
Mhm.
those kind of
Yep.
signs.
Okay.
I would say stay with the same template, but yeah, if we can find cheaper, still sturdy signs, but yeah, we should definitely order them, because I think the demand is still
Yeah.
there.
We
Okay.
definitely do.
All right.
How many
And-
did we order last time? Does anybody remember?
We ordered 50 in one batch, and then we ordered another 50.
Okay, so we did order
100
100.
total.
And they went,
And
Like
they
that?
did. And
Yeah.
if we
Okay.
would have, I think, ordered them all at once, we would have gotten more of a discount on it than doing it in two small batches,
Okay.
just with the company we went with.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Alright.
we could easily, we had
Usually
much
they're
more
cheaper
demand
the
than
more you
what.
order.
Right.
well, how much do we have left to spend on that, Dan?
Let's see. I think what we proposed for community events and promo materials was 1,500, and that was in our request. And then Jackie had indicated that the promo materials for 2017, just the yard signs alone, were $1,000. So then we have 1,500 total. At least that's what we have allotted. Now, we don't have to exactly go
No.
there. We got, we got, extra money for like, speakers and other things like that. And so if we don't think, we're going to spend more on, bringing someone down here to speak at an event, or, mileage to attend symposiums and things like that, we can certainly, dip into that if we have to. But I don't think 100 more now is too many.
No.
No, definitely not.
Okay, that's what I was asking, and then we might be able to save some money even on it with a different.
Yep, yeah, and as we get closer to, the end of the year, we can, figure out, use that money elsewhere, so. So do we want to, so how do we want to do this, then if we can find a vendor that will do it for less than 10, do we want to go ahead and just order, rather than wait and do a proposal next month, because then if we, wait another month, and then.
I think you ought to just order them,
Yeah,
so we
whatever
get
the
them.
pr-
It's
whatever best
it's a
price you get.
budgeted item, and
Yeah.
it's ready to go if we can.
Okay,
The best price you can.
okay,
I'll move we order 100 signs.
Yep, that's second.
all right. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Motion is carried. Okay, so I will do that. I'll check a couple other ones, and being a steward of our funds, I will make a judicious decision. So, all right, that's all we had in for today. Is there anything else that we didn't cover that somebody wanted to address? Okay,
Do we have a date for the award dinner?
Not yet.
Is that something the event committee will determine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Right, unless,
Right.
okay.
You have to work that out with Lisa on the available space and.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yep. Yep.
And when the recipient can be available too.
Right.
To check into.
Yep. Okay, and then, so the date of the next meeting. So right now it is on Memorial Day. Yeah, even if City Hall was open, I would highly recommend a different date. So, so let's see, I don't have a, all right, who's got a calendar here?
There's one on the computer.
Well, that's handy. Where,
The Monday before.
so the Monday before is
21st?
May 21.
Had a good day?
If it works.
I can't be here, but that's all right. Most of you can be here.
Heritage Preservation Commission
At 5:15 here?
on the 21st, is that what you're looking at?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does that meet here?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes, it
okay.
does.
Is there anything after that?
There is nothing after that.
Do people want to do after that? Is it possible?
Are they
Or do we shut down?
Lisa, like the meeting can run about an hour long and maybe more.
Okay,
Well, maybe we should check with Lisa and see if she can find us a day.
okay.
That's what she did a couple months ago when we had something.
Blizzard.
Yeah.
Right.
So maybe we should
Okay,
just-
yeah, I just know that for me personally, after is not really gonna work. We have a graduation,
Yeah,
and then
it's
I'm throwing
crazy.
an all-day music benefit. For anybody else that wants to go or wants to know more about it, come see me, but that is, so my June is chaotic, to say the least. So, but it's not all about me, even though I wish it was.
Let's maybe have Lisa try and find a date
Yeah,
for us.
maybe
yeah.
Lisa can
Okay.
find a date the week before that or.
Does
yeah.
5:15 work well for everybody?
Yeah.
Generally?
The time works really well, yeah.
Yep.
And any other days of the week, because I think we had to do that before too, where we did it on a day besides
Yep.
Monday.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did it like a Wednesday or.
The 25th look open. But
Yes.
Once again, you just have to double check.
Yeah,
okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll double check with Lisa and we'll get something scheduled on that. So, all right, anything else then? All right, seeing nothing, do I have a motion to adjourn today's meeting?
So moved?
Thank you. Second?
Second?
All right, all in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Chad?